Hi family, and welcome back to the channel. So this is a real quick video of a walkthrough on the property that we just closed on. It was a weird, strong situation with this property. I inadvertently created a crazy bidding war, but you guys will see the lineup. The ARV was about 240,000. I want to say it was about 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, maybe 3 bedroom, 1 bath, and got it under contract for around 130. Now the bidding war ended up pushing it out to 134,000, with the overall profit margin being 4,000. But that 4,000 was definitely with a strong talking to. All right, enjoy. All right, let's pick up this check. Thank you so much. Successful closing. All right, hey guys, and thank you for sticking out to basically this whole video. I just kind of wanted to hop in here. I know we did a quick walkthrough of that property, which ended up being banging. The overall profit margin, like as you guys saw, was like 4,000. And of course, you know, I got my little partner. I got my partner out here with me, so like my profit with that was about $2,000. Now I wanted to basically, and I'm pretty sure you guys saw the pro tip, and don't mind. Okay, so this is my office. First and foremost, I don't got my Laura London on right now. I just got my hair freshly braided and whatnot, so don't mind this. And plus it's like 12 o'clock right now as I'm recording this, so yeah, it's late. Frankly, I should have my scarf on, but anyway, so I kind of wanted to talk about the pro tip that I left in the video. You guys saw it. Like basically the pro tip was saying, if you guys missed it, because it was pretty quick, it was like it was in and out of there, but ultimately, don't create unnecessary bidding wars. And with this particular property, I inadvertently, unfortunately, created an unnecessary bidding war. So that's why I was saying, like, you know, even though I got a higher price than my asking, I got a real strong talking to by one of our local end buyers. Ultimately, so family, like I feel like I had to like get down and like sip my tea as I say this. And yes, my wonderful cold caller, actually she's more than a cold caller at this point. Like Patricia has been rocking with, and if you guys don't know Patricia, Patricia has been rocking with me since day one. If you follow me on TikTok, which by the way you should, is ABAB Invest, just like on Instagram as well. We actually just like promoted her. She's more than a cold caller. She's legit a member of my team. Like she is a 100% team member. She gives me advice. Like she lets me know like the pulse of the people that she's calling, or if the list isn't hitting, so I can like, you know, shift left or right. So just promoted her up, and like we were really excited about that. So we're looking to, you know, bring up, you know, more cold callers up under her. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The main thing I wanted to talk about was the bidding war. So backstory with this particular property, I got it locked up under contract extremely, like way too high. I originally had it locked up under like for 150,000. And once we started showing the property, basically the buyers were telling me like, hey, you know, this property is like way too high. Side note, another pro tip, when you're doing a walkthrough, or you're basically kind of doing like, I guess in like the agent world, maybe like a buyer's open, if you're doing something like that and the buyers are like actively saying like, hey, you know, this seems a little high, take the hint. Like if they're willing to throw you like a certain amount of money, if they say, hey, Joe Blow or Ashley, like, I can do this for this amount of money, then do it for that amount of money. With this particular case, like I just mentioned, I got the property locked up way too high, about $30,000 higher than it should have been, or 20,000. My math, y'all know my math is a little iffy sometimes. But I was able to go back to the seller. The seller understood, because basically I told him, like, hey, you know, a couple of our other investors, they're saying, like, you know, we can't necessarily do 150, but maybe we can do, like, you know, around 130-ish. So I basically went back to him and was just like, this is what they talking about. That's like, 150, a little steep. So me and the seller did some back and forth negotiating. And basically, we ended up settling at 130,000. Now, from there, the first buyer, who actually was like a cash, actually, frankly, and this is another mistake, like, everyone that should be walking the property should be cash buyers. But he said, well, I can do 131,000. And family, you guys know, like, I have a partner. So, like, I got the property locked up under for 130,000. We were able to renegotiate it and bring it back down to 130,000. So the asking was 131 after that. But I mean, I got a partner, so it's just like, the spread can't be just 500 for me and my partner. Like, that's not enough meat on the bones for what we're trying to do. So, like, I had another buyer, and lo and behold, family, when I asked this buyer for, a non-refundable earnest money deposit, I got a lot of like I don't know, I can't do a which was a red flag right there. So if you guys have been following me on like TikTok and Instagram, you guys already 100% know that I am a firm believer in a cash buyer sending into the title company or attorney, whatever state that you're closing with, non-refundable earnest money deposit. As soon as like you get any type of like friction, or this cash buyer doesn't want to do a non-refundable earnest money deposit, like, that should indicate to you like a red flag, because they're probably another wholesaler trying to like daisy chain your deal. But anyway, so we got the asking price all the way up to 133, because mind you, like, I'm thinking I'm dealing with a real cash buyer. And then on the other hand, which ended up creating the bid war, with another cash buyer, so who was actually a cash buyer. So we were kind of going back and forth. Like, I'm over here trying to like do a bidding war, basically. I mean, just because, family, you guys already know, I had the property under contract for 130,000. Asking price technically was 131. Inexperience with me, like, and then just not really having my numbers right from jump. Like, it wasn't good. But anyway, so I ended up going with one of the first cash buyer, the cash buyer that basically offered 134,000. And when it came time to that non-refundable earnest money deposit, that cash buyer was stumbling. So ultimately, like, after, I want to say 2 days, me and this cash buyer were going back and forth off of how much the earnest money deposit should be, which, family, I only said $3,000. And granted, don't get me wrong, $3,000 is a lot, but when you're dealing with cash buyers that's about to pay 130,000 or 200,000 or like hundreds of thousands of dollars, you should have $3,000. So that's when I found out that cash buyer A, that's what we'll call him, cash buyer A, was basically a wholesaler trying to daisy chain. And this other cash buyer, which frankly I'm going to just start calling them a wholesaler, this other wholesaler was basically just giving me the layout as to like, this is not my policy and this is just not what we do and this is so unprofessional and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, first off, slow your roll. Like, it's a lot of emotions coming from you. Like, it's a lot of emotions. And like with me, it's about the numbers. Just like with any cash buyer, it's about the numbers. If the numbers don't make sense, like, I'm not trying to play. And frankly, I do this with my sellers across the board buyer. I don't try to play off of your emotions, just because it's just like if the numbers work, the numbers work. I'm pretty sure you'll have other wholesalers, saying differently. But yeah, so he was just, this is unprofessional, and like, we have the money, but we just don't do earnest money deposit, non-refundable earnest money deposits. And I was just like, okay, well, how long's your inspection period? And then he was just like, well, we'll need an inspection period of about 20 days. What? You need an inspection period of about 20 days. And then on top of that, you don't want to do a non-refundable earnest money deposit? What is that going to do to the seller? Like, first off, family, I feel like this is a whole nother like video in itself, but it's just like, if I go past my 15 days, like, granted, there's things you can do if, you need to extend your inspection period. But if I go past my 15 days inspection period, then that holds me liable for the property. And then if I give you like this large amount of inspection time and then you dip out knowing that I'm already halfway through my inspection period, then me and the seller could be going to court. Because now I'm left holding the bag, basically. And then on top of that, like, it's even more crucial because the decision of whether or not he was going to tell his tenants, because there were tenants in the property, the decision on whether or not he was going to tell his tenants that they needed to move was riding on this, obviously, this purchase of the house. So the long story short, like, me and that other wholesaler, because obviously he couldn't pass, the smell test of depositing a non-refundable earnest money deposit, as well as B, wanting a significantly long inspection period. Red flags, 100%. So with that being said, I ended up going with my other buyer. My other buyer was just like, all right, well, I'm going to tell you, I don't like how you're doing business. Like, he straight out told me. He was just like, frankly, I'm really interested in this property. And he was basically like, and I know you have been like, everywhere as far as like, posting with deals and stuff like that. It's been a few deals I've been seeing, but I know they're snatched up. Because I want to work with you, and because I really like this house, I'm gonna basically bypass the fact that you chose another buyer who didn't even pan out, who was another wholesaler over me. So family, I got read the right act. And luckily, because, I told them, I was just like, hey, like, all honesty, complete transparency, I was just like, this is kind of the situation. And basically what I just told you, I told him, because frankly, he's a known buyer in this area, and I want to continue doing business with him, especially if we link up. The real estate industry is like super small. I don't need my company or my name looking crazy in these streets out here. I cannot. But yeah, so I told him everything, and he basically was just like, okay, well, I understand that you got a partner, and like this spread isn't what's up. So I'm gonna go. I'm basically gonna honor, the 134, which the other guy, was supposed to do, versus what his original offer was just like, I can do 131, which he definitely could have did 131. But, you know, because I was transparent with him and I told him what was happening and everything like that, he was just like, all right, I understand. Like, you and your partner, it has to make sense for you and your partner. And if it doesn't, then, you know, I get it. So, all that to say, like, strong talking to. Granted, I got my money at the end of the day, but, like, never again will I inadvertently create a bidding war, because that's kind of what I did, hoping that the price will go up, because obviously I mispriced it at first, and it never again. So anyway, I just wanted to get up here and let you guys know basically the backstory of that particular property that you guys just saw, just because I know the video was kind of quick. Typically when I do my videos, I mainly do my videos for the TikTok format, so my videos are pretty quick. I'm still new to this YouTube thing, so don't judge me. Don't judge me if my transitions aren't flawless or whatnot, or if you see, you know, my vision board in the back and, like, I still got pictures I need to hang and, you know, stuff like that. Don't judge me, okay? Don't do it. But anyway, follow me on TikTok, because I post very frequently up there, as well as I do lives. I'm trying to be a little more consistent with the lives and whatnot. Also on Instagram, ABAB Invest, basically all platforms, ABAB Invest. And also, oh yeah, like, y'all, you know, I got a podcast too. Like, I got my hands in things. I got my hands in things right now. But I got a podcast, My Unconventional Journey Through Real Estate. You'll see different episodes up there. I'm actually about to record another episode. And frankly, I'm thinking about getting some, I would say some of y'all's favorites. But, like, to be honest, I want to know some of the people that should be favorites that aren't favorites yet. You know what I mean? Like, I want to interview some of those people up and coming. Not like I got a whole lot of clout or anything. I don't at all. But, you know, I want to reach out to a few people that are up and coming, or, you know, and, like, see, you know, I feel like we all up and coming right now, as far as, like, in this real estate arena. But anyway, if you guys have any questions, again, ABAB Invest on all platforms, and feel free to shoot me an email. Like, let's run through some numbers together. Like, I'm quick with a calculator, you know, kind of, sort of. But I'm willing to help out. Anyways, though, I'll talk to you later. Until next time, this is Ashley with ABAB Invest. And, yeah, I'll talk to y'all later.